Hello and welcome to Pop Along RC. Now we are big fans of the FTX brand, and today I'm going to talk about 3 of our favourite FTX cars and which one you should think about adding to your collection. So let's take a quick look at these 3 cars in action. Some amazing footage there of the FTX Zorro brushless, the Rokotan and the DR8. Now then, these 3 cars are 3 of our favourite FTX cars. That's why they're here. So why haven't these 3 cars featured on the channel much recently? Well, we did a lot of videos on all of these cars, so if you're interested in more information about these cars, we already have content on the channel. Now, for handling and performance and straight out the box control, the FTX Zorro brushless is a fantastic car. We've been running this car for about a year now. The only damage that we've really had was on the front of the chassis, but we've upgraded that to the alley chassis and we've not had any issues since. This car, absolutely amazing. The DR8, myself and Mark run these quite a lot. We're taking these out every single week. We've actually got transponders fitted to these cars, so we use them with our lap monitor timing system and we actually race. So we get hours out of these cars, head-to-head racing, really working on our driving, our overtaking and our racecraft. So these cars, for us, we run them on 3S. The performance is absolutely amazing because the cars are so even. It makes for some really great battles, and me and Mark can have hours and hours just playing with the DR8s. But we don't tend to get the cameras out. We've covered it hundreds of times on the channel already, but they are really great cars. We have put a 6S battery in and we've done our speed runs, and we've run these cars at around 60 miles an hour. In order to do that, we had to remove the tyre from the back. We did shorten the shocks ever so slightly to make it a little bit lower, but we haven't changed the gearing or the motor, just running on a 6S battery, 60 mile an hour, pretty much straight out the box. Over to the Rocktan. Now, why is this car in this lineup? Because we know the Zorro is amazing. We know the DR8 is amazing. The Rocktan. Now, this car for me has done more for me this year than any other car in the collection. And what this car has managed to achieve that none of the other cars have done, it has sparked and ignited my son's love for RC. He absolutely loves this car. This is his car when he's out. What I really like about this car, the radio gear, which I didn't actually cover in the review, okay? The radio gear, you've got a dial here, which you can actually turn down the speed of the car, which means, although this car can do 30 mile an hour plus on a 3S battery, you can dial it down so it only does 5 mile an hour, which means it becomes the ideal car for beginners to learn how to drive. Why else is this the ideal car for beginners? Well, it's not got the same sort of chassis as the Vantage, Bugster, Carnage and the Zorro. Okay, this is a completely different platform and this chassis is a lot stronger. Therefore, again, it's a little bit more robust. It could take a little bit more of a pounding. That, for me, is another reason why this becomes an amazing beginner car. Breakages that we've had then. So we have been running this pretty hard. I've driven it pretty hard. My son has done a lot of crashing with this car. The only things that we've broken on this car is the rear body posts. So the rear body posts are broken. The way I've fixed that is I've got some massive cable ties on the back. So I've cable tied the shell to the rear bumper, so now it literally just tips up like so, and I only have to worry about putting 2 pins in the front. Again, makes it a little bit easier for my son to access when I'm trying to show him how to fit batteries and things like that. So for me, this car has been amazing. It got my son really taking an interest in the hobby. It's got my son actually working on his racecraft. He is doing really well with this car when we go out for the bash sessions. Now, handling wise, I've got to be honest, it is not the best handling car. That's because the suspension is really soft on it and it likes to rock and roll as you're driving. Now then, what that does mean is when you're jumping, bashing and crashing, the shock's got a little bit of give there, so therefore you're less likely to do damage. With these cars, they're a lot firmer in the shocks, but that's how we like to ride them, so we've got really good handling with the cars. So there you go. The Rokotan actually has done a great job of actually getting my son into RC car racing. Not only that, when we've got this car out, we always take it out when we're doing our little bash sessions. Also, recently we've been going to our local park because the weather's been so nice. We just get a quick sneaky cheeky hour or half every now and then. We always take this car with us because we get passers-by going, oh, that looks interesting, and we want to get more people involved in the hobby. So this car is always at hand with the speed control that we can turn down. We can give it to a complete noob and they get to do a few laps and always go away with a smile on their face. So this car has been driven probably by about 15 or 20 passers-by, and it is a great beginner car. So which car is the best for you? If speed is what you're after, this machine over here does do 60 mile an hour, but that means it needs to run on 6S. That means you need to either get a 6S battery or 2 3S batteries, which isn't cheap. This is the most expensive car in the range. For me, I'm a big fan of the short course trucks. As you can see, I've got a few of them up here, and this at the moment is my best performing short course truck. The handling is brilliant. The only thing that let it down, as I say, was that weakness in the front of the chassis, which has all been resolved now with the alley upgrade. So for me, this is my favourite car when I'm out racing with friends. This is my favourite car when I'm out racing with Mark, and this is my favourite car when it comes to getting beginners into the hobby. So let's play out with a little bit more footage of these cars in action.